Okay. Welcome, welcome. I've been gone for about 2 weeks, so yeah. You're probably wondering why. I don't know. I just happened. I forgot to upload. Didn't feel like doing it. Got kind of down for a couple days and didn't feel like it. And then I went up to a tech school in Warren Robins and signed up for CDL driving courses, which start May 17th. So yeah. Apart from that, I don't really have a reason as to why I didn't upload anything. Other than I just didn't give a damn about uploading anything for that length of time. But I figured I'd talk about something different today than my usual either music or philosophy or political philosophy. Figured I'd talk about something psychological, and that's why you should talk to people about your problems. You hear people all the time say, "Oh, you should talk to somebody about your problem." They don't tell you who you should talk to and why. What happens if you don't. And I figured I will do that now in a timely manner because I don't have a lot of recording time. My hard drive space is, get this, taken up with memes and photoshopped pictures of crows smoking cigars. So, yeah. Until I get that stuff off my phone and onto my computer, because that's what I do. I archive those fuckers. And my recording time is like 8 minutes, so I gotta keep it relatively short. But, yeah, whatever. But I figure first, start off with using myself as an example. Okay, they say you should talk to people. What happens if you talk to the wrong people? Okay, if you talk to someone that's not understanding of your situation, you're going to feel worse coming out of it than you did before you went into the conversation. Use me and my mom as an example. Used to, still do, I have crippling gender dysphoria. That's not something that goes away, and I'll make a video about that later, why I think that's caused by a brain deformity, and it's not a disorder, and it's not something, it's abnormal, but it's not something done by choice, because, who the fuck would want to deal with dysphoria? If you have it and you deal with it, you know what I'm talking about. Shit. Actually, that doesn't describe it. It's way worse than that. But, yeah. It's pretty fucking bad. And, I think it's a brain deformity, but I'll make a video about that later. But I tried to talk to my mom about that. She does not like trans people. For mainly religious reasons. So what did she tell me? I was sinful, also that I was disgusting. But I tested the waters. I didn't tell her that I was anything like that. I told her that I asked her what she thought about trans people, and she was like, "Oh, they're disgusting, and this, that, and the other," and she went on a tirade about how awful they were, and she says, "Oh, they're terrible, look at them." And I was just like, "Oh, well, now I feel like shit." So I know who not to talk to. So you don't need to talk to people that don't understand your situation, and I recommend you testing the waters first. Like, if you're thinking about talking to somebody, you should, instead of talking about yourself directly, talk within the same context, but about somebody else first, and see what they think about it. And then, like, say if it's dysphoria, or if you're wanting to come out to somebody about being gay, or, I don't know, if you're just anything, you should test the waters first. Also, talking about depression and stuff like that can be... If you talk to an older person or something, they'll just say, "Oh, get over it." Or if you talk to the wrong person, a lot of people just think it's something you get over. "Oh, you're just in a bad mood, just take a nap, you'll get over it." It ain't like that, and most people don't get it. You have to talk to somebody else that understands. And, if you don't, then you'll, like I say, come out of it feeling worse with no answers as to how to fix your problem. But, so that's one thing there. And then the other thing is why you should do it anyway. Why bother talking to people when I can fix a problem myself? I hear people say that a lot. And that's because if you don't talk to anybody else, it gets worse too. If you don't talk to somebody that you have a kinship with, that understands your problem and you understand them, so technically if you don't talk about a really good friend, essentially, then you'll be fucked up even worse. The reason is, or keep a journal. If you don't have anybody to talk to at all, then keep a journal, because that's good too. But it helps, not as much, but it helps. But why you should talk to somebody is like if you just try to go and handle it by yourself, you'll get loneliness because you'll be spending a lot of your time trying to deal with your situation rather than talking to other people about it. So you lose that social interaction. Then you become like hermited and you like shy away and become depressed and stuff even more because then you have more reasons to be depressed. Like, oh well, not only do I have such and such a problem, now I don't have any friends and I don't have this, that, and the other because I don't talk to nobody no more. Well, this sucks. So you know what I mean? That's loneliness starts to become a thing. Also, you have other problems like you'll get more depressed too because in the process of trying to get yourself out of the rut you're in, you'll dig yourself deeper. Because it's very, very hard on your own to find answers as to why you're in the situation you're in. Unless it's like with dysphoria, then it's obvious. It's like, oh, you feel like you want to be a woman or a man. Okay, well, that's what you just need to fix it. It's obvious in that situation what you need. But with something like depression, it's a bit different. There could be anything that's causing it, and you just don't know. And it's very, very hard to find. You can find it yourself, but it can take a long time. If you talk to somebody else about it, you could find it within minutes, possibly. And if you find what it is and how to fix it, you can fix it and get it over with and stop dealing with it or make it better for yourself. You'll always have it, but it'll be better on you. And but trying to deal with it yourself only makes it worse because you can't find the solution to it yourself, and then you come out of it with more questions than you did before you went in, and then you feel worse. And then if you go to talk to and then you say, oh, well, I want to talk to somebody, and you go and talk to the wrong person, then you feel like you're utter waste of space, and then you blow your brains out. That's how a lot of people end up killing themselves. So I have had a bunch of people in my family commit suicide. We have really bad depression that runs in our family. Thankfully, I didn't get it that bad. I got some of it, but not as bad as like some of my relatives do. They have it like really bad. And some of my relatives have just outright blown their brains out the back of their head, and that's because they're like, well, I'll fix it myself. And they do exactly what I just described. They get worse. You stop seeing them so much because they become a recluse, and they just focus all their energy on fixing their problem. And it doesn't get fixed. And then they go, oh, well, I'm going to talk to somebody. And they talk to some dumbass that doesn't understand their problem or just bigoted like my mom is. And then they tell them to fuck off and tell them they're sinful or tell them there's something wrong with them that, just screw off, essentially. And then they come out feeling like waste of space, and they're like, well, screw it. That's the problem. And I don't like it when people just say, oh, you need to talk to somebody about your problem. Okay, talk to who? If you go to a therapist, for a lot of them, there are genuine therapists out there, and you have to look at their reputations and look at them carefully before you go into that. But sometimes you can get a therapist that does not give a crap. A lot of the time, you'll get somebody that just wants to take your money and give you some pills to take. Oh, what's your problem? Here's a drug that might work, and then again, it might give you liver or brain cancer, or heart failure or something. Oh, wonderful! Just exactly the opposite of what I needed. So, or then you could. I don't know. The best thing to do is to talk to somebody that. Best thing to do is to talk to someone that understands you. And talk to them whenever you feel down. Like whenever you can sort of feel if you have depression or dysphoria or anything like that. You can feel it coming on before it even gets there. You can sort of feel so you feel like a slight anxiety before you get hit with the big shit. And that's when you start feeling that way. You need to go ahead and talk to somebody about it before, or go out and do something, or just do something active. Do something to get your mind off of it. Whether it's talking to somebody about the way you feel to get yourself over the hump there, or if it's going outside, taking a walk, or whatever it is you do to get your mind off of it, I'd recommend that's what you do. But eventually you have to put your mind on it, and that's why I say talk to somebody that cares about you and understands your problem. Because you can talk to somebody that cares about you but won't understand your problem, and they won't shit all over you, but they won't know how to help you. And they'll say, oh, well, I wish I could help you, but I don't know what to do. And you don't want that. You want someone that can say, well, here's, nobody will be able to tell you exactly what you need to fix it, but they can say, well, this might be what you need. Have you thought about this? Or, they'll have a conversation with you about it. But, if you don't talk to anybody, you just sort of sit back and think you can fix it yourself, then you'll end up dying. More often than not, people that try to do that, they just die by their own hand, because it's not possible to fix. And there's no fixing it. That's a misconception too. People say, "Oh, talk to somebody so you can fix your problem." Okay, so they don't specify who and what kind of people you should talk to. What happens if you don't? To give you an incentive to talk to someone, you know? Because that's the thing about depression. You don't want to talk to anybody when you have it. You just want to sit around and rot, essentially. That's what it makes you feel like doing. So you don't want to feel like talking. You don't feel like talking to anybody. If you don't have an incentive to talk to anybody, why would you want to? So, I mean, if you have depression. So you have to have some incentive, and if you don't know why you should, then why should you, you know? So, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm scratching my foot. But, yeah. But, you have to, so, not only did they mess up in that part, but they also don't tell you that at some point in time you have to focus on it. Some people will say, "Oh, well, you can just do something, get your mind off it," like I just said, but you can't do it forever, because that causes the